remember a particular moment that was either particularly enlightening in terms of what it told you then about, say, Greek temple architecture, or a particular moment that was frustrating where it was like, I can't get these metopes and triglyphs to line up the way I want them to? Was there anything like that you had to like really kind of overcome, if you remember? I know this is a while ago now.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, I mean, I have a very vivid moment of a certain day. It was the roof tiles were really hard to do. And again, that was something where it was like, I had to compromise to a certain extent. I mean, obviously I couldn't make thousands of tiny little ceramic roof tiles. And I did want this to be something that students could take apart and put back together. So like you could take the roof tiles off, and so it made sense to do that in sections. So it's built in sections. It's almost like Legos or something, kind of, everything's pegged so it can go, things can go back together. But I remember trying to, there was a really dramatic moment too, that I'll tell you about, but I can't remember exactly what the problem was, but I remember this day, and it was in December, and I realized I wasn't going to finish it before Christmas, and I wasn't going to make it home for Christmas with my family, and I could not get these roof tiles to work. And I just had to like stop and leave the wood shop and go calm down and do something else. Cause there can be these frustrating moments in making. I don't know, that's not such an interesting story, but I do remember a very dramatic moment where, so in making the roof tiles, we used what's called a dado blade, which is where you stack a whole bunch of saw blades together to make a wide cut. So instead of you're not just cutting through, but you're sort of carving away at the wood. And we had a dado blade that was at an angle, and then, and then we put it through one way and then put it through the other way to make the two different angles of the roof tiles. And we had to make the proportion right. We had to kind of stretch out that dado blade. So we put little shims between the blades to stretch it out to make it the right width. And then, and then screwed it back on, and we made the first cut, and then stepped away from the table saw and to measure it to see if it was right. And then I sort of saw out of the corner of my eye, I saw something go flying across the shop and heard this fling. And it turned out we had stretched the blade out enough that the blades were not quite on the screw that was holding the blades on tightly enough. So we ducked behind a huge piece of machinery while these saw blades went flying across the wood shop, so that we wouldn't, luckily nobody else was there. So nobody got hurt, but it was a terrifying moment of saw blades literally flying across the room because we needed to get the proportions right. So we were trying to stretch the machine to kind of the edge of its limit, and we stretched it a little too far. So I don't even remember how we managed, fixing that, because I did, and I managed to make the roof tiles and it all worked. But I sure remember that very exciting moment in the shop. Yeah.